Hello my friends, in this video I'm going to show you how to accelerate your career, how to pick the right options and take on the right opportunities so that you get to where you want to go further and faster than you ever thought before, okay? Because we always have options and we always have choices. It's up to you to use your judgment to understand which option to pick, which is going to yield the best rewards for your career going forward, okay? Either through the experience that you'll get or through the network that you'll build. Okay, one of those two options. We want you to pick the best option that's going to get you incredible places in 5 or 10 years time. And there's a principle I want to called the principal versus agent scale, okay? And you can imagine a scale where you've got principal on the left and you've got agent here, okay? I'm going to explain what both of these two are and what happens when you pick the principal and what happens when you pick the agent and where you end up in your career. So I want to take you through some of the consequences, some of the benefits, and give you an understanding so that after you watch this video, you can start planning your career, you know, putting things in place whereby you know where your next 5 moves are, okay? And that is going to be really important because you want whatever incentivizes you. It might be money, it might be working on iconic projects, whatever it is, you can get to those things way faster. Okay, if money is your objective and you want to earn a 6-figure salary, 150k, 200k, whatever, even more, and it's possible, right? There are ways to do that, but you need to take on the right opportunities, pick the right options, and listen to some of the things we're talking about in this principal agent scale, okay? It's super important. This is gonna be one of my favorite videos I made. So let's go. Julius Caesar, okay, he's one of the Roman emperors back in the day. He was meant to be one of the best leaders in the world. He wasn't a very good leader in terms of his ethics and he killed a lot of people, but he was absolutely incredible by what he did, okay? He said, if you want it done, then go. If not, then send. What that means is if you want it done right, do it yourself. If you don't, then you can send someone else. So what it is the principal is the owner. The agent is not the owner. They are like the employer, okay? So when you're the principal, you care about things, right? It's your own baby, it's your own project, it's your own, own company, okay? You are the principal. If you want something done, you do it yourself because you are the principal. If you're an agent, you are an employer, which means you don't really care as much about the company. You don't really care as much about the project, if it does well or not, okay? And this is a big problem because if you're an employer, and what I always say is the one who cares the most wins. And if you watch some of my other videos, I bang on about this all the time. The one who cares the most wins. If you're an employer, you will do double better, and I'm not kidding you, double better if you start thinking like a principal. Okay, it's the most powerful employer I have ever met in the construction industry, okay, did this exact same thing. They said the only reason why they reached these insane heights, they were able to deliver projects at such a level, is because they cared the most, okay? That's why I'm bringing you this information, because I know what successful people in the world have done, and I'm deconstructing it and bringing it to you guys, okay? He said he was the principal. He cared about the project. He cared about the company as if it was his own, okay? And when you think like that, you change everything about how you approach your day, how you approach your time, how you train other people in your team, in your projects, how you deliver work, okay? You don't do things half-hearted. You don't enter work at 9 o'clock and say, oh, it's 5 o'clock, I can go home and not think about it. You are bringing up ideas, you're increasing your knowledge, your skills, your capabilities, everything we tell you in Construction Mastery, right? You're developing these things, you're having the 7 levels of impact, right? If you're the principal, you impact yourself, you impact your team, you impact your project, you impact your company, you impact your clients, you impact the construction industry, and then you impact the world because you think like a principal. Really important. When you think like an agent, you don't care as much. So if you're an employee watching this right now and you don't own a company, start thinking like you are the owner. Start thinking like an entrepreneur, like you are the principal. You will go way further. You'll double your potential. I will promise you that. If you do not, when you start thinking about this and you do it properly and you don't, put a comment down below, okay? And you can schedule a call with me. I will speak to you personally on the phone to explain what you're probably doing right or what you're probably doing wrong, but then get to principal stage, right? That is mission number 1. Always think about that. You are now the principal, okay? If anyone asks you how you've done so well in your career, if you've progressed so fast, what you've done, and you think this is the number 1 principle, explain this to someone. Send them this video, All right, subscribe to this video if it's giving you value. So you are now the principal, that is it. You've watched this video, you cannot go back. You know that meme that people say, when you see something, you can't unsee it? I think there's a good one about Ian Wright and Oprah Winfrey. Okay, literally, when you see both of them together, you see Oprah Winfrey with a wig on and you're like, oh my God, that's Ian Wright, okay? You can't unsee it. You just can't unsee it. It's in your mind now. You can never, when you see Oprah, you're gonna see Ian Wright. When you see Ian Wright, you're gonna see Oprah, okay? So it's the same thing as this principal thing. We've seen it now, we've tested it, you've heard it. Now you can never go back to becoming an employer. The less you feel like an agent, the employee, the better your job is going to be, right? That's why we want to think like a principal. And if you're an employee, your most important job is to think like a principal. Just remember those two things, okay? So, well, how does this affect you leveling up as a construction pro? How is this going to get you to where you want to go to faster? Firstly, because you're thinking like the principal, you own the company, right? You're going to treat it very, very different. It's a mindset shift. It's a mindset shift. The second is that now you want to start looking for projects and opportunities and companies to work for where you are more of the principal. That is such an important point, okay? So if you're working for a massive construction project where you've got 40 different surveyors, 10 different building surveyors, 8 project managers, whatever, these massive projects, you're going to very much feel like an employer, very much feel like an agent, right? It's going to be very hard for you to feel like a principal, but if you are in that project and you're in it right now, you can very much still be a principal. But I just want you to bear in mind that when you do take on that next opportunity, that you can look for the opportunity where you are more of the principal. And what that means is you're going to look for projects or companies where they're very small, they're boutique. You know, you're working on teams of like 5. You've got you as a quantity surveyor, whatever you are, 1 surveyor, 1 project manager, 1 architect, you know, 1 document controller, a very small project where and 1 commercial manager maybe, whatever, where you are just one of a handful of people and you get to see everything in that project, okay? When I took my opportunity, I did this exact same thing that I'm telling you. I accelerated my career by years. I was well ahead of the game, because I've applied everything that I'm now teaching you guys in Construction Mastery inside of our platform. I was well ahead of the game. I took that one opportunity and I accelerated my career by 5 years at the very least, because it was an opportunity where I was the principal. I was the owner of the project. I was accountable for everything else. There's another video I've made. It might be out before or after this video. It's called like 3 principles: accountability, judgment, and reliability. Watch that video because that's going to take you to another level again, okay? So anyway, when I took this opportunity, I was the principal. All right, I was in control of so many things. I had the skin in the game, right? I was saying, let's do these things, and things had to work out in my favor. Otherwise, then we would have to change the tactic of the tool, right? Essentially, what I was saying is I was in charge of a lot of decisions and a lot of the thinking on that project, and that accelerated me. That gave me experience points, ding, 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 more than ever before, right? And I want that for you guys as well. So if you're in a project right now, the first really most important thing to do is, if you're an employee, is to think like a principal. All right, I will give you the tools and tactics in another video or inside of our platform, whatever, in one of those situations. Well, I'll show you exactly what to do, how to do it, etc. But think like a principal. Move from that scale. Remember, we've got the scale. Move from there all the way to this side, okay? Then, if you're looking for a new project, look for a project or a team where you are more of the principal, where you have more ownership, more reliability, more accountability. You can see bigger things. When you're on a small boutique project, you get to listen out for conversations. You get to see the macro view of the whole project, the micro view. When you're all on a small project, you're probably looking after 1 or 2 or 3 different subcontractors, or whatever you are. If you're an architect, you're probably only looking after, again, a small handful of things, because there's 3 or 4 different architects, right? Whereas when you're a principal, when you're taking on that small boutique project, you get to see everything, okay? So what I've done in my career is and this is what I would advise other people to do, is train at a big company. Right, work for someone like Balfour Beatty, May, Skanska, Langerook, you know, Kier, one of these big companies for your first 5 or 6 years. Learn how they operate, okay? Understand their templates that they use, the procedures that they have, how thoroughly and how good they are, all the systems of the business, everything. I want you to deconstruct everything that you can understand from that big business, because they have to do things properly, because they're probably a public company and they have shareholders who they're accountable for, which means they can't do anything dodgy and they can't do anything bad, right? They have to be good representatives. I work for Balfour Beatty. They were an absolutely incredible company. I would highly, 10 out of 10 recommend you go work for Balfour Beatty. It was absolutely brilliant company, okay? So for your first few years, do that. Then try work on smaller projects within that big company if you can, if there's opportunities. There probably isn't that many opportunities because big companies do not take small projects, okay? They normally take on big projects. I was just very lucky and I was attuned to that, and I heard someone talk about it and I spent so much effort and energy to make sure I got on that project, okay? Most people would ask them, say, can I jump on that project? They most likely will say no and then they'll give up. That's how most people operate in this world, but not construction masters, not you guys, because you persist, you get the results, you make things happen, and you make the industry a better place, okay? When I asked out I'm married now, when I asked out my wife, when I didn't know her, I had to ask her out 5 times over a 9-month period. She said no, 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 no. So many times, I kept asking her, kept asking her, kept asking her. I was persistent until I got the result, okay? And download an ebook below or go onto my website, because I've got like 26 traits of a world-class construction professional. These are traits, okay? And one of the traits is persistence. And I want you to develop these traits to become a world-class construction professional, because you're gonna become better and better and better. I'm using these principles that I'm teaching everything to you guys in my life, in my career, in my entrepreneurship journey, in my construction industry. Everything I'm teaching you is what I've done. And I've got experts behind me who are world-class, who are some of the best in the world, who I talk to. You know, when I was at Balfour Beatty, I had conversations with people who are absolutely world-class, incredible people. I've deconstructed all of this information. I've worked with the CEO for 3 months on his project, which he asked me for, to work directly on his project as the only member inside the entire company. I worked with him for 3 months. I asked him loads of questions. I got to know him. I deconstructed how successful he is, why he's successful. Everything I discuss and talk about in these videos are going to make you the best construction professional, absolutely, by far, without the effort, without the sacrifice, without thinking you have to work so hard to get successful. You can reach commercial manager, you can reach commercial director, you can become chartered by REBA, you can become chartered by the RSAS. It's not that much effort. It just requires a little bit of a smart thinking. It involves construction mastery. We will get you to where you want to get to, okay? So think like a principal and an agent. Pick the right projects, and then take your career to new levels. Guys, I hope that was really effective and helpful. I wish you all the best in your journey to becoming a world-class construction professional, so that you can impact your team, you can impact your projects, you can impact your company, you can impact the industry, impact the world, make this world a better place, earn more money, impact projects, help your family, help your cousins, give more to charity, become a better person in life. When you give, you get more, okay? When you give to charity, you get more things. I'm starting to give more and more charity as my income grows. My family have done it, I've learned from them, and it's such a rewarding feeling, but you have to earn more. If you're struggling in life, make sure you put these things in place, work harder, build the skills, the knowledge, the tools, the tactics, do what we say. Get to a place where you're earning a bit more, get to a place where you're earning a bit more, get to a place where you're earning a bit more, because you're impacting projects, okay? Then you can have amazing experiences with your family, you can take the stress away from your family, you can send your children to private education, you can get them amazing experiences, amazing holidays, you can travel the world, you can do incredible things, and you won't have to worry about money again, okay? It's really, really important to do these things, to increase your career, to grow and develop as a construction professional, so you can grow and develop as a person yourself, okay? And become a better person, impact the world. It's the best thing a human person can do. So I hope that helps. I'll catch you guys in another video. Love you all. Bye.